the veil of dominance. In the year 2247, the planet Osiris hummed with vibrant cities, technological marvels, and a history that its inhabitants would rather not speak about. The world had emerged from centuries of conflict, now dominated by the ruling class of Onyxians, descendants of those who had risen to power generations ago. Onyxians, with their deep, radiant skin and rich cultural lineage, controlled the fabric of society, its politics, industries, and institutions. The remaining population, the Palians, existed on the margins, struggling for dignity in a world that systematically denied them. The division was evident in every facet of life. Public restrooms bore signs: Onyxians only, and Palians use rear entrance. The vast, shimmering pools of the megacities were sanctuaries for Onyxians, their pristine waters forbidden to Palians under the guise of health protocols. On public transit, buses were adorned with luxurious front sections, reserved exclusively for Onyxian passengers. Palians, in contrast, were relegated to cramped, poorly maintained rear seats, if they were permitted aboard at all. Mina LaRue, an Onyxian journalist, prided herself on being a seeker of truth. She'd grown up hearing stories of the Great Reversal, the period when her ancestors had wrested power from Palian oppressors. Though she understood the injustices of the past, she'd never truly questioned the inequalities of the present. For her, they were simply the way things were. That changed when she met Callum, a Palian physicist whose groundbreaking research had the potential to reshape their world. Callum had developed a device he called the dimensional lens, capable of peering into parallel universes. He'd spent years working in obscurity, his funding constantly jeopardized by the prejudices of Onyxian institutions. When Mina stumbled upon his work during an assignment, she was both skeptical and intrigued. "Why would an Onyxian care about my research?" Callum asked bitterly when she approached him. "Because I care about stories that matter," Mina replied. Reluctantly, Callum agreed to show her the lens in action. Together they activated the machine, and the room was bathed in a kaleidoscope of light. The lens projected an image of another world, one eerily similar to Osiris, yet fundamentally different. In this universe, Palians were the ruling class, and Onyxians were the oppressed. Mina watched in stunned silence as scenes of segregation, discrimination, and violence played out in reverse. For weeks, Mina couldn't shake what she'd seen. She began to question everything: her privilege, her assumptions, and the stories she'd been taught. Driven by a newfound sense of purpose, she decided to write an exposé about the lens and the alternate universe it revealed. "People need to see this," Mina told Callum. "And what do you think will happen when they do?" he replied. "Will your people change, or will they dismiss it as a fabrication?" Mina didn't have an answer. But she knew one thing: the truth had to be told, even if it made her own people uncomfortable. The publication of Mina's exposé sparked a firestorm. Some Onyxians were horrified, questioning their complicity in perpetuating a system that mirrored the injustices of their ancestors. Others dismissed the lens as a hoax, accusing Mina of betrayal. Palians, meanwhile, saw the exposé as a vindication of their struggles. The revelation ignited a movement. Across Osiris, Palians and sympathetic Onyxians began to demand change. They marched in the streets, chanted for equality, and refused to be silenced. The ruling class, however, was not ready to relinquish its grip on power. Mina faced threats, her work denounced as treasonous. Callum's lab was raided, his lens confiscated by authorities. But the seeds of revolution had been planted. The lens had shown the people of Osiris a truth that could not be unseen. the arbitrary nature of dominance and oppression. As the protests grew, so too did the hope that Osiris might one day become a world where equality was not a dream, but a reality. In the end, Mina reflected, the fight for justice was not about reversing the roles of oppressor and oppressed. It was about dismantling the structures that allowed oppression to exist at all. And as she stood among the crowd holding a banner that read "Freedom for All," she felt a glimmer of hope that Osiris could learn from its history and from the alternate worlds it had glimpsed to build a better future.